Oh, terrible. Better. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome all of you, both in person and online, to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I'm Kirsten Levitt, and I'm delighted to be your worship host today. We're grateful to have each and every one of you here with us, especially after a long summer break. In this congregation, we feel it's super important for everyone to feel like they're welcome and that they belong. So before we even start the rest of our service, would you please turn and greet your neighbors here this morning?
Clay. Hey, Laura. Nice to meet you.
It's okay if you don't know anybody. Go ahead and shake a hand. Say hello. Christine, say hello to these new people right in front of you. So glad to have you all here. Come on in, find a space. We're just saying hello to each other this morning. Thank you. So again, my name is Kirsten Levitt, and I just want to give you a little bit about today's service. The confluence of streams is an excellent place to study the mingling of energy, and isn't that what we do here at All Souls? The flow of each current is interrupted for a moment in a splash of turbidity. Traveling together for a stretch, they get to know each other until little by little they merge and become stronger. When we come together, we fill our full life of experiences, physical and spiritual, to form a mighty river of love and community. And we're so happy that you're able to join us this morning for our water communion service. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism, all will be unfolded, I promise. But don't worry, it's very, very touching. This is your first visit here. We are so happy to have you. And if you'd like to join our mailing list to get updates about what's happening at All Souls and its many ministries, please do make sure you fill out the guest book that is in the front foyer. If those who are in the leadership, the board of trustees or committee members, if you could raise your hand so people can see you, these folks can give you lots of deep information about the church and its practices. Thank you so much, my friends. We have this great joy of coming together this morning, and especially to welcome Reverend Doug McCusker, who goes by he, him, who is a retired Unitarian Universalist minister. He served as a parish minister for two congregations, one in Rockville, Maryland, and the other in the Fellowship of Fredericksburg, Virginia. He's also led Unitarian Universalist groups in men's prisons in Virginia for 10 years. He just did nature staff at SUSE, which he's done very many times. And he is a second generation Colombian American. And whenever he gets a chance, he leads groups in outdoor sensory immersion practice known as forest bathing. And we have forests around here, so maybe we can persuade him to do a little bit of that nature loving with us. Before he went into the ministry, he retired from a career as a cartographer and systems engineer for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. You spit that one out quickly. Wow. I guess he's kind of smart. Anyway, Reverend Doug and his spouse Marie now live in North Adams, Massachusetts, and I'm really thrilled to be able to share our worship service with him today. So now I invite you all to breathe. Just take a good, deep, cleansing breath. Come in to this room. Be present. be focused, be at peace. In the words of the Reverend Kathleen McTeague, we come together this morning to remind one another to rest for a moment on the forming edge of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, taking the time to look into one another's faces and see communion. This house of laughter and silence, memory and hope, is hallowed by our presence together. Let us take time for quiet reflection as we listen to Laura Joseph's playing of the prelude this morning. Thank you, Laura. Such a beautiful way to start our morning. Now, if you'll turn in your hymnal to number 448 as David Levitt lights this morning's chalice, we'll read together. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. And what a celebration of life it is when we get to come together, especially after a hiatus. Please stand as you're willing and able and sing hymn number 108, My Life Flows On, an Endless Song.
We
Now, if you will join with me in reading our congregational covenant, which is printed in your order of worship. This is a living document that we look at, we review annually and make suggestions for changes. We haven't had to make a change in 2 years, so maybe we've got it right for right now. But it is what we strive to live by. So, in this house, we covenant with one another to build our connections on a foundation of love, hope, and faith, to accept responsibility for our individual acts and work together to promote equality, justice, and peace, to stand on the side of love, embracing the liberation of the oppressed and championing all movements to end discrimination, to communicate with kindness and support, and to serve with compassion and commitment, to listen respectfully with an open mind and value our diversity as a source of our communal strength, to learn together and grow together, generously sharing our time, talents, and treasures, to celebrate the joys of discovery, embracing the fullest measure of our humanity, of the wonder of youth to the wisdom of age, to openly share our laughter and our tears, showing reverence for the divine in all that is. Every week in our church, we take up an offering, which gives us the opportunity to exercise the generosity of spirit that supports All Souls and its many ministries. We see this act of giving, of growing more generous in our hearts and in our actions as essential to our spiritual well-being. We will now receive this morning's offering, and we have our first choir anthem of the season. So come on up, choir, fellow choir members.
Never-changing sky, seasons
Thank you, my friends, so much for that. Yes, applause is allowed in your church, absolutely. And here's the commercial break. This is a pickup choir. We start at 9 a.m. the first Sunday of every month. Feel free to come and join us at any singing level. We try to pick a not too difficult, but still interesting complexity for us to offer on the first Sunday of every month. Anyway, thank you for your donations of treasure and talent and time. Individually and together, we are building a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. Each one of you, by your commitment of time, talent, and treasure, helps to make that grand vision real. Lots of moving parts today. And now, if you will join Doug and myself in reading the responsive reading that you'll find is an insert. Doug, you want to come up and I'll step back? Okay. There you go.
I don't believe you. I think you've been practicing all summer.
Well, a lot of us have been singing along.
That sounded beautiful. It's so nice to be with you all today. Oh, wow, this is just lovely. Thank you. And such a nice time of year to start anew, to see you all coming in from the summer. And me starting here just today, it's very, very nice. And so I think with our topic today of confluence of our streams, and this being a town of many confluences, as I've seen on the map, I haven't gone to the confluences of the different rivers, but it's very fitting. I hope that we would all come together on this reading and join where the words are italics, or bold rather. That is your cue. And the name of this reading is Safe Harbor. As the tide rolls in and out,
May we venture out and return with cycles of life.
as a still lake is calm and quiet, providing a place of silence and reflection.
May we pause and let the earth and our water hold us.
The sea holds so much mystery and power yet to be discovered.
May we know our own power and mystery as the sea.
The river flows through all sorts of barriers and goes where it's most needed.
May we too be moved to serve where we are most needed.
Floods, hurricanes, and tsunamis show us how destructive and ever-changing life can be.
May we know our own inner storms as temporary.
As our teardrops cleanse our emotions,
May they remind us of our purity.
as we are mostly water, just like the earth,
May water be our friend inside and out.
Yep.
Has to turn on. There it is. All right, my friends. And now for water communion.
Today, we join hundreds of other Unitarian Universalist congregations who mark the beginning of a new church year with the celebration of a water communion ceremony. The winds of summer have blown us around. Today, we return to this community where we draw sustenance to live out our faith in the world. We bring forth waters that have been gathered from many places near and far, new and familiar.
The places from which these waters were gathered are joined together in the interdependent web of life. Each water drop is a part of an ancient stream of energy, cycling and recycling, changing forms and moving all over our planet. Among us, there have been many journeys this summer, some of them physical, some of them mental, some of them emotional, and some of them spiritual. Some journeys have been a combination of all these elements.
During our ceremony, the waters that symbolize our experiences will merge in the common bowl of our community. As we prepare to come forward, let us take a moment to reflect on our summer experiences and what they meant to our lives. Everyone today may participate in the water communion ceremony, no matter your age, whether you are a first-time visitor or a long-time member. A pitcher of water is available on the table for those who have not brought water with them. We will collect the water that is shared and use it throughout the year for other community ceremonies. And I'm going to go off script for a second because we didn't talk about what to do for the online people. So is there a way for them to communicate with you all, the places that they've been, and then you can, the tech folk can share? Great.
We can do that.
And we'll pour a little water for them.
We sure will.
All right.
And the other off script is that we've been saving water from this ceremony since 2018. And so there's ancient water that you can choose, or good old Greenfield tap water. So let us be together in a spirit of unity. You may come forward, pour your water into the bowl, and speak into this microphone the location from which the water came from and what it symbolizes for you. Please be brief, as we have a good number of people here with us today wishing to share their experiences. So I will start and say, my water comes from right here, from the ancient waters, from all of us that have mingled together for now my 26th water communion here in this building. Come on forward, friends.
My water comes from the Hoosick River near where I live in North Adams, and I am just so amazed at how clear it is. That's what it's like being in the mountains.
I'm going to use a little bit of the ancient water to symbolize water from our visit to the New Brunswick border this summer.
I didn't bring water. I didn't travel much this summer, but this water represents the water from my hose that kept my garden alive this summer. So it was sacred water.
Yes, this water is from the Buckland Rec pool. And they had to rebuild the pool because it was leaking badly, and they tore it down and they built it back better. It has all different levels. Children can enter where they can walk down the steps holding onto a railing. It's just fabulous.
Pour the water. Tell everybody later about the pool. Okay. Thank you. By the way, it's the Firemen's Brigade Parade today, so there will be lots of different noises.
Most people know this is my dad's town, but my mom's town is Potsdam, New York, Racket River.
I visited Cross Lake in New York State, where my cousins and my family had wonderful summer vacations in the 60s.
I meant to bring water from our new house, but I remembered halfway here. So this is from Columbus, Ohio.
We meant to get some water from the creek on our property, but it kind of rained a little bit yesterday, so this is tap water, but it represents the creek on our property.
Thank you. Good to see you.
This is water from Puffer's Pond in Amherst, where on the first morning that my then new housemate Clay, and now more like my little brother, and I took a walk and found a lot of different reasons to say yes.
This water represents water from Scudic Peninsula, from the Atlantic Ocean. I needed to go to the ocean this summer for strength and courage.
I think the most dramatic part of my summer was moving into my new home in Deerfield, and it's my forever home, and I'm loving it every single day. So welcome home to me, and I'm very happy to be here at the church.
Welcome, new neighbor.
This is water from this weekend's life-giving rain.
This is water from my garden hose to water the beauty of nature, glory of flowers.
Yeah, just tap water from Greenfield's delicious, clean, fresh tap. I think the source is the Green River, and this summer we cooled off in the Green River as much as we could.
I'm going to pour some of your collected water here, but I'm thinking of my nourishing well water from home at the border of Buckland and Ashfield, and this is my first visit here, and happy to be here.
A little of the rainwater that fell to try to relieve the drought that we've been experiencing a little north.
This is Northampton tap water, and it represents emotions and intuition.
This water is from the Deerfield River in Shelburne Falls, where I visited many times this summer, seeing many flowers and meeting many people.
This is town water. It's actually even church water. It's in a rather strange ancient medical bottle.
Hi. This water represents water from my rain barrel, which has been watering my garden and was very happy with yesterday's rain.
Hi. This water is representing my garden hose and flowers, and there are even some right outside the front, in front of the pulpit. Yeah.
Hi, I'm going to use this ancient water to represent the natives that walked this land and lived on the lakes and rivers.
I want to use this ever-flowing water and be grateful for all the water that's shared around the world, and especially in the clouds. They are the most beautiful inspiration for me and reminds me of life is water. Thank you.
Two hands.
You know, this water, the ancient waters, is in. I spent Friday Shabbat into Sunday morning on the banks of the Connecticut, and had the grace to have that water flow through skinny dipping, because it was a very private location, and to be able to dance with a den of beavers, a lodge of beavers, as my companions for 36 hours. So it was a blessing.
How about our friends on Zoom? Anybody want us to pour some water for them?
Yes, Dan Tynan shared this with us. Dan said, "My water would be from San Francisco Bay, where Ellen and I are awaiting the birth of a granddaughter in 1 month."
Congratulations. Others? Any others? Okay, my friends. Thank you so much. It's all yours, Doug.
May these waters that we bring from our lives represent a portion of what we have around us and what we have in us, but it is something that we share with one another. And in that sharing, it is all there is in life. Amen. When you're in a group like this, do you ever wonder about all the things that had to happen for us all to gather together in this moment? Think of all the stories contained in this room that merge in this particular time and space. There are countless little decisions that form the paths that we all take that somehow has coalesced right here. It kind of blows your mind if you think about it too much. It's like we all flowed in on separate streams that none of us fully control. The energy in this room is unique. I mean, how many times do you have the sirens right outside? Once a year. Even if we all came back next Sunday and no one else joined us, the energy would be totally different because each of us would be different. During the week, each of us would have experienced new things that changed us in small but profound ways. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus is attributed with saying, "You cannot step into the same river twice." You could go down to the Green River in the heart of town this afternoon and go to the very same spot that you stood in last week. And you would be in a different river because all the water flowing around your foot that very moment would be different than the water from last week. The level has changed, especially since we had some rain over the weekend. The number of algae is different, and there might even be some fresh goose poop floating inside. The water drops that graced your feet last week are probably in Connecticut and are headed to the ocean right now. The water makes the river, and the water has changed. It flows on in constant motion, and so too do our lives. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and just like Greenfield, it is a city defined by river. On hot summer days, my friends and I would head to the James River to cool off and swim in the water. We had a favorite spot where a tree grew diagonally out over the river, ideally suited for swinging on a rope and landing in deeper water. Nearby, there was a rock under the water in which the ancient river had bored a channel large enough for a person to swim through it. And I'll never forget the one and only time that I mustered up the courage to swim through that rock. I had to hold my breath for 30 seconds and swim about 30 feet. Now that may not sound like a lot, but in the middle of the journey, everything got dark and cold. I had this flash of dread that I might get stuck in the rock. But just as I started to panic, I saw a little light, and then some more, and more, and then finally, I was out the other end. When I popped out of that water, I looked back, and nothing looked the same. I was in a different place. I wasn't the same, and neither was the river. It was such a strange feeling. These days, a lot of what I am experiencing is new and strange. I am newly retired, and I'm trying to figure out a new rhythm of my life. My spouse and I recently moved to Massachusetts to be near our daughter who lives in Pittsfield. We're making new friends and joining new communities that correspond to our interests. And it's great to be here among you siblings, learning new names and sharing our stories. I am literally in a different place, and so are you, even if you have been a member of this congregation for a long time. As UUs, we typically do a check-in at the beginning of every RE meeting or committee meeting. People who are sticklers for time, they cringe when check-in begins because you have no idea of how long it's going to take. But it's an important part of being authentically together in community. It's a way of capturing where we stand in the river of life. It's a recognition that we are not the same person as we were the last time that we met, and therefore neither is the group. Water communion ceremony is a beautiful ritual to mark the beginning of a new church year. It is a celebration of the bounty of experiences that we have all encountered during the summer. We are asked to bring something to the common bowl. Our authentic selves, our stories, and our dreams for the upcoming year. And just as the water makes the river, we make this community. It's an illusion to think that this church is static. It's constantly changing and flowing. Visitors come, as we have heard. Members leave or pass away. A minister shows up out of the blue, even wearing blue. When we look back, this community is different, and so are we. It's fun to hear where people have been over the summer, and in that way, it's sort of like a check-in. But even more importantly, it is the act of sharing and giving which is the most fundamental act of community. And just like the flowing streams that brought us together, giving and receiving all that we have to offer changes us and replenishes this community. If you have gone anywhere near the water this summer, you have noticed how dry the streams are. I was hiking along the Hoosick River trying to get my water this week, and I was able to walk on the stones across the entire river, which was essentially like a little babbling brook at that point. It was kind of depressing. It reminded me of the state of communal life in our greater culture. It seems to be drying up. This has been going on for a long time as people join less civic groups, communal organizations, and stop coming to church. We have social online social media groups for sure, and virtual clubs, but they lack the face-to-face confluence of energy that we experience when we are physically together. Confluence. Confluence literally means flowing together, influencing each other. I think I'm preaching to the choir here. Greenfield has settled at the confluence of 3 different rivers. At a confluence, the flow of each current is interrupted for a moment in a splash of turbidity. Each stream travels side by side for a stretch as they get to know each other. You can even see a slight difference in the color of the streams as they collide. But little by little, they merge, join forces, and become stronger. Mighty rivers always start with a trickle. It's very hard to determine where a river actually starts. But if it doesn't meet up with another stream, it will dry up. There's a long-running debate among geographers about which is the longest and mightiest river in the world. Both the Amazon and the Nile claim the title. Or rather, Egypt and Brazil claim the titles. But both the Amazon and the Nile it's very difficult to tell which is actually the biggest, the longest, has the most water, because it's really hard to measure those things. They are both made up of thousands of tributaries, each contributing their own unique properties. By the time that they reach their respective mouths, they dump billions of gallons of water into the ocean. Their deltas are hundreds of miles wide. And yet, they reflect the properties of all the individual streams that came together. Water always seeks other streams in its relentless pursuit of the ocean, which I will call the great joining. We can learn from rivers. Isolation and loneliness are epidemics in our modern societies. We can connect across the globe in an instant, but we have fewer relationships in our very own backyard. The Surgeon General during the Biden administration, Dr. Vivek Murthy, said that the health effects of loneliness is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Like rivers, broad and shallow relationships put us in danger of drying up. Communities like this beloved congregation are our way of pursuing the deep ocean. Flowing together brings us closer to the mystical, spiritual unity that holds life together. We retain our separate being while being part of something greater than ourselves. In solidarity, we grow in ways that would be difficult to do alone. We can pool our power and our influence and our resources. Through each relationship, we get a glimpse of the ocean inside each of us. This summer, I attended the Unitarian Universalist General Assembly in Baltimore. I don't know if anyone else here went, but it was amazing. It was hot, and it was amazing. That felt to me like a mighty river made up of hundreds of individual congregational streams. To be in a great hall, singing together with thousands of people who share the same religious values was exhilarating. One of the main activities that we did as a gathered body was to meld our ideas to see where we as a movement wanted to go in this new and bewildering world. We brainstormed and discussed potential paths where we can make a positive and lasting effect into our greater community of the world, the ocean, if you will. No matter if you are a small congregation, a large church, or a whole denomination, working together in pursuit of a shared mission is a confluence that makes us stronger. Sharing projects and merging our voices with other religions and grassroots organizations is a confluence that makes us stronger. learning together in religious educational activities, sharing stories of our lives is a confluence that makes us stronger. Being together on Sundays, showing up and being present to worship and sing as one is a confluence that makes us stronger. Sharing food, new ideas, musical talents, and having fun is a confluence that makes us stronger. Listening and holding each other through our struggles, griefs, and sorrows is a confluence that makes us stronger. Pooling our money and our resources and labor for the health of this congregation is a confluence that makes us stronger. Welcoming anyone who comes through these doors with radical hospitality is a confluence that makes everyone stronger. To be a confluence is to simultaneously give and receive. Here in community, we flow together on the way to the great joining of unity. We deepen our streams and weather periodic droughts through our relationships. We become stronger individually and collectively. Everywhere you look here, you see the result of confluence. People stepping up to serve as leaders, teaching and participating in classes, volunteering in the community, and welcoming new people like me. This UU River is always flowing, changing, and carving deeper channels of relationships. It has been flowing for 200 years, shaping the spiritual landscape of this valley, just like the Connecticut River. And so, as we join together, full of hopes and dreams on this first Sunday of the new church year, take a moment to reflect on all the beautiful confluences that make up this mighty river. Think about what it means for you to be part of this great joining right here and right now. May your spirit be quenched in the unity of this gathering. Blessed be. Speaking of confluences, you are invited to join in song and in spirit as you are willing and able to stand and join us in singing number 1007 in the Teal book, There's a River Flowing in My Soul, the Teal hymnal. So please rise in body and spirit. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. Heart, there's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. Mind is a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind.
Now is the time in our service for sharing joys and sorrows. If you have a sorrow that needs the help of this community to carry it, or a joy so great that you must share it, now is the time. You may share it with the congregation. A microphone will be brought to you, or you may quietly, privately light candles over in this windowsill. Our very first joy is to have visitors here this morning, and so you are not required but welcomed to introduce yourself during this time. And I'd love to know who's joining us on Zoom this morning.
This morning we have Dan Tynan, Link Hurst, and Trudy Ralph.
Oh, welcome to all of you wonderful folks. Okay, if you are sharing this morning, please keep your share brief. We care for each other by getting to the heart of it and letting us know how we can help you or celebrate what's happening in your life. And there will be an opportunity after the service for announcements and to share. We have a potluck today, so you'll be able to share more then as well. Okay. So, my friends, it's time for sharing of joys and sorrows and welcoming of our visitors. You can just raise a hand and the microphone will be brought to you.
Hi, I'm Chris Parham, and I just wanted to share a joy that our son Max got married last week.
Yay. What's his wife's name?
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and my husband and I are visiting from Texas, where we moved a couple years ago. I would like to share two concerns. One for my sister and my brother-in-law who has Alzheimer's disease, and another one for my 15-year-old grandson who's struggling, as adolescents do.
For the last few years, it feels as though I've had the joy of being here, and then I would talk about someone that I was very close to who had died. And I have to say, no one has died in the last couple of years, and it's all a joy, and it's such a joy for me to be back here among friends. Bye-bye.
I know we're a very left-leaning church, but I have a concern that there's too many people on one side and not enough on the other. My more serious joy is to welcome you, Doug, and to thank you for reminding me that in an earlier incarnation I was a professional juggler at Renaissance fairs, and they said I should take a spiritual name, and I wound up with the name River, and after your service, now I know why.
Hello, my name is Daniel, and I'm new in Greenfield area. But wow, that was I just was out watching the parade going by, and I saw the sign to come in right when you started that speech, and I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I came here today. So that was great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I had visited the congregation online earlier this year, and I was very excited that I could come here for this session in the fall in person. My wife and I are new to the area. We live in Sunderland, and we're delighted to be near this congregation, and we hope to be able to come often in the future.
Welcome.
Hello, I'd just like to introduce myself. My name's I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Nick. I'm new to the Greenfield. I moved here in 2021. I haven't really gone to church much, in the recent 20 years, but I started this year a little bit, and this is such a beautiful church, so I decided to try this one out, and been delighted that the 2 times that I've come. So, hello, thanks.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Suzanne. I started here in 1988 and have been missing for about 20 years or something like that. So I'm managing a couple of health issues, but I hope to come much more often. And I'm happy to see folks, Christine and others I'm buddies with. So.
Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I want to celebrate the courage of the Epstein survivors speaking out this week. I watched them on YouTube, and just my heart went out to them with much love and celebrating their courage. And there's a great joy. I have a friend from my old church in Somerville, Tony, coming to visit, and it's a gift when old friends come on back and visit. So thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Any joys or sorrows online? Okay.
I have one that I hope everybody will hold Link in your hearts as he ventures in for some surgery next Friday. Link Hurst, a longtime member.
Okay. Will you please light a candle for all the joys and sorrows that have not been spoken, but we hold in our hearts? So I invite us into a time of silent reflection for just a few moments. And then, if you would, as you're able, lift your arms and share your energy in the room. You can literally feel it if you move your hands. You'll feel the energy in the room. Spirit of community in which we share and find strength and common purpose. We turn our hearts and minds to those in need, those who are struggling who have health issues, who have surgeries approaching, who are lonely or lost, isolated, those who don't know where to turn, we hold them all. We celebrate the visits of friends from Texas, longtime members, the marriage and life moments, Max and Caitlin. We celebrate our coming back after a summer away and rejoicing in one another's company. We celebrate life rather than mourn the loss. We celebrate our being moved by words of wisdom and caring, connection, abundance. We're moved by the courage of others to speak out when harm has been done. And we know that they're awaiting a new life and many new lives in our world. Let us open our hearts to a place of quiet, to the silent prayer of healing of pain and the soft, gentle coming of love. May it be so. Amen. Blessed be. And now if you would join us in singing Prayer to Friends, which you'll find as an insert in your hymnal. We stay seated for this one. Please feel free to join us.
Whenever I hear the river, I am at peace. Something deep inside me shifts to the flow of the kindred waters. Whenever I hear the ocean, I soar like birds flying above the waves, held aloft by its mighty power. Whenever I hear the rain, I am cleansed and made whole again, like the soil and the desert sands. I do not drown. I am one with the water, floating between birth and death, leaving ripples of love in my wake. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So go in peace, serve the world, and return in love. Maybe so.
Let's have some brief announcements, and then I invite everybody to stick around. We've got coffee and tea and frittata, and then we're going to get together up in a circle and just introduce ourselves to one another, especially for Doug. So I'm going to start with inviting everybody to come on a cruise September 21st on the Connecticut River. We have a boat just for us. And so, but I need to get names. So come see me about a cruise at 3 o'clock on the 21st. Secondly, we have a directory, church directory. And I would really like everybody who wants to be in this directory. So there's some new folks that have been around for a while, but we want you in our directory, and then you get one. And another thing is we do have a book that we created last year about our 200th anniversary, and we have some for sale. They're $20 for the paperback and $30 for the hardcover. And I'm going to let Pam introduce our program, our service that's next Sunday.
Yes, well, there's a lot of variety in this community, believe me. So next Sunday, we're very aware that we are a community that's based a lot in elders. And next Sunday, we're inviting a new variety of people, and that is young adults and young people that have a lot of energy to address the climate change issue. And don't be surprised if we not only expand in the direction of young adults, but if you are surprised by the expansion of who we are, because we might include some trees. We have invited some trees. Yes, the name of the program is called The Future of Environmental Activism. And believe me, trees have to be included. Thank you.
I'm not sure how many this will pertain to, but the Cherry Hill Co-housing community lost one of our most beloved members, Renee Humpage, and there'll be a memorial service for her today at Co-housing starting at 1. If you'd like any further information, just come find me.
Hi, my name's Russ. I'm on the property committee here at the church. This building is 130 years old. It takes a lot to kind of like stay on top of what's happening here. We have a meeting once a month. This month's meeting is this coming Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. If anybody's interested in joining us or just learning more about what this building and this property is all about, you don't have to have experience. We're just looking for folks who care. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Kay. Love the preempt here today about rivers and life. We have two marvelous opportunities. One is going to be on Tuesdays called the River of Faith, and it's about our over 450 years of Unitarians and Universalists. And in that builds this remarkable understanding of whose shoulders we stood on and stand on now, and what it is that we do. So Tuesdays at 3 o'clock is our History and Heritage River of Faith. On Wednesdays at 3 o'clock is our UU Spirituality Building. If you would like to find that way in the 8 years of spirituality, that is something you're welcome to come to, and we'll be right here. It's on the easel in the back. I have a whole bunch of these for you to take home so you can think about it. It's got the phone number for the office to call in if you'd like to participate. But it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 o'clock.
So on the first Sunday next, Is it on? Yes, there it is. It's just have to kiss the mic. On the first Sunday next month, I believe it's the 5th of October, can you believe it? We're going to have a committee fun fair. I'm planning it. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. Just a little foreshadowing.
All set? You're dismissed. Go in peace.